Okay, now we're on the second part of chapter 4, page 49 in your workbook. We're looking at 4.4 value and interest problems to start with. The first thing I want to talk about is this formula that the author gives. She calls it AVT. I just want to change that to QVT because amount we use a lot of times saying like amount equals percent of base. So I think that might just be a little bit confusing for you. So I wanted to change that over. So we will have it be quantity to be just more specific, the number of items or whatever it may be, times the value of those. Okay. So you'll see how that can play into different types of wordings, and that will equal the overall total. And for these, we have two unknowns typically, so we need to get them both in terms of one variable so we can figure stuff out. So we're going to kind of roll one into another too. And we'll do more of this later when we cover systems of equations. So here we have Jennifer has $2.45 in dimes and nickels. Okay, if she has 8 more dimes than nickels, how many of each coin does she have? So we're trying to find the number or the quantity of dimes and nickels. So that's what we want to set our first piece equal to. So we have A, we're going to declare our unknown. Let X equal the number or quantity of nickels. Okay, and then let X plus 8, because we have 8 more dimes than nickels, equal the number of dimes. And you can kind of abbreviate there. Then we have to think about what we're working with. So this is the quantity stuff, right? We also need to think about like what's our value. So what's happening with our total value? I'm going to write a little phrase here for you. Okay, so I'm going to jot down this phrase for you that the total value of nickels plus total value dimes equals total value of both. I ran out of room there. I'll fix that later. So we have the quantity info, but now we need to think about how to set up the value. So if we know that the total value of nickels would be the quantity times the value of each, it's kind of like value of each right here. So we know that a nickel is equal to 5 cents. So 0.05. And then we have X of them. So we have 0.05X to represent this. And then the amount of money or value of dimes would be 0.10. And then the dimes we're representing as X plus 8. So make sure you do put parentheses there. Equals the total that we're given is the $2.45. I wrote my phrase here just to be a little bit neater and to change the wording a teensy bit. So I put total money in nickels because that kind of makes it more concrete, plus the total money in dimes equals total money overall. Because I think this value here represents for each item and then times the quantity of items, and that's what we're doing. And then we have an overall for that particular two things combined together. So now that I have my equation, I can go ahead and solve for X. I would just need to distribute here. So be careful with that. Make sure you do that. So go ahead and solve this, pause, and do that as classwork. If we were in a class, I would just have you, okay, finish that one up, and then we'll look at it because you have that skill. We're just adding more pieces. This is part C. I solved it out. I just distributed here to get my values 0.10x plus 0.80 right there. and then I combine like terms. So I have 0.15x plus zero point 0.8 equals 2.45. Then I subtract zero point 0.8 from both sides and divide by 0.15. I get x equals 11. But I'm not quite done because that's just the nickels, right? So that's nickels. So she has 11 nickels. So think the dimes, you have to go back up here and look at, we have the nickels plus 8 is equal to what, how many dimes I have. So just add that on and you have 19 dimes. And then just put that in a sentence to come full circle that we have Jennifer, I call her Jen, has 11 nickels and 19 dimes. Doesn't need to be fancy, just make sure you give context. Okay, so that's it for that problem. The next one here we'll read through and then maybe you could try to see if you could set it up. It's similar, it has a little different twist, but we have if 99 people attend a concert and tickets for adults cost $4 while tickets for children cost $3.75 and total receipts for the concert was $388, how many of each went to the concert? So figure out if you can set up your variables and then it's a very similar layout. I'm going to call that one classwork and then I'll go through it quickly. And if you just want to see if you're right, you can kind of scan through. If you're right, I'll tell you what the answers are actually right now. We should have 67 adults and 32 kids. So see if you can get that. If you do, just move on. You might want to take a quick look. So here's the layout. I have 4x because we have $4 is the value of each adult ticket. And then kids are $3.75. If I have 99 people all together and I'm calling X the number of adult tickets, then the 99 minus X, I just have to take that piece off to get the what's left, which is kid tickets. And then I have the value of that, and my total value is 388 given in the problem. I just distribute there where my parentheses are, combine like terms to get 0.25x, subtract the 371.25 from both sides, and I get 16.75. I end up with 67 adults because I look back here and see that I have my X representing adults. It's really important to list those out. Another reason to have that. Then I just have to go back up here where I'm saying, well, how many kids is that? 99 minus the 67 adults will give me 32 kids. Then make sure you have a sentence with context. And that is it for page 49. I'm going to go on to do some interest problems in a different video. So thanks for watching.